2 for 1, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Great,
Save you
Leonard
time,
Elby,
right?
man. What's up, man?
What's up?
Real quick, Leonard, what's your thoughts on Ryan testing positive for PEDs the day before the fight and the day of the fight against Devin Haney?
I really don't have, like I've been kind of telling him, but I really can't comment on it because again, it's like I don't have the information. I have the same information you guys have, that the A sample came back, and that was it. You know, the key to the whole thing is that if they request the B sample, what that says, and then you can make an informed comment based upon the information that you have, but everything else is premature, in my opinion, before that.
Let me ask you this. In situations where boxers do test positive for PEDs, what should be the punishment?
Again, I don't want to comment on that part because, again, it's that I'm not in a position, like I'm not a commissioner, you know, I don't want to, but there's no room for PEDs in boxing. I'm totally against that. So totally against that. And people should be punished, obviously, because it creates an unfair, you know, playing field. So that's that. But I'm not a commissioner to even remotely, you know, give my opinion on something like that. You know, but it's not good. It's not good.
If it were to, you know, hold up, and you're right, you know, we got to kind of wait for facts to unfold and everything. But if it were to hold up, what do you think it means for both fighters, Leonard?
Again, I'm going to kind of play, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, for Ryan, it would be all bad. For Devin, it would be kind of like, oh, this is the reason why, and that's not an excuse. But still, at the end of the day, you know, creating an unfair advantage, if that is the case, it does put you in a different kind of situation. You know, but at the end of the day, man, everything with the knowledge that I've been having for many, many years, this is what it comes down. None of these guys can fuck with Tank Davis. And I've been telling y'all that. And as this shit unfolds, fight by fight, this guy, oh, Tank ain't fought nobody. Okay, Esau Cruz, Ryan Garcia, this guy, that guy. He getting all these guys, man. He's going to get each and every, and Tank is going to have the last word with each and every one of these guys.
So PEDs or no PEDs, they can't mess with Tank?
you know where I'm coming from. None of these guys can fuck with Tank. None of them can fuck with Tank. Ryan didn't test positive, and we took him down through the testing. Yeah, oh yeah, we had violent testing in the Tank Ryan fight. Extensive. We didn't have no problems.
How much does this circle back to what Floyd was talking about over a decade ago when he, you know, got very serious about testing before these big kind of fights?
But just not only before the big fights.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's no room for it in the sport, period. And yeah, Floyd was a strong proponent of, you know, obviously we had USADA in place at that time, and we tested and tested and tested and tested and tested, which is customary, you know, when you're in this kind of situation, obviously, because you do want a level playing field. You know, that's one of the reasons why the delay with the Manny Pacquiao-Floyd Mayweather fight for so long. You know, because we couldn't agree on the testing. It wasn't because this guy was scared or that guy was scared. We couldn't agree upon the testing. And Floyd has been very adamant that each one of his opponents that he stepped in the ring with, we're going to go down to do extensive testing.
Oh, so when you say adamant about testing, he said y'all tested everyone. It wasn't just select people. Y'all tested everyone.
Yeah, we tested everyone.
You know, Leonard, you're always educating us on the business side of the sport. How big is the business for a rematch now with Devin and Ryan, you think?
I don't know. What was the business in the first fight?
We're still trying to officially
I know
out.
what it was.
What was it?
What was the business? It wasn't what they were saying. I can tell you that.
Eddie Hearn said $972,000.
Get the fuck out of here. Nowhere near that.
Half?
Nowhere near that.
Half?
I'm not getting into any of that. Nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. Nowhere near
You think the rematch could do that though? Now with all this hype,
I don't know. Again, I don't know. Don't know.
what they eat doesn't make you shit.
No, but it's like everybody tried to, not everyone, a lot of you guys in the media were saying the reason why we did 1.2 million plus was because, it was Ryan Garcia. It always takes two people to make a big event when you're doing that kind of numbers, and he played a role in that. But Tank's the guy. Tank's the guy. Tank's the guy. You know, you put Tank in that situation. Tank Ryan. Fight week, we ain't looking to sell. We ain't looking at there ain't no tickets available. Thousands of tickets. It's a big difference. Big difference. Tank is the guy.
I think if Ryan would have wound up, well, we still don't know for sure, but let's say he did test positive for a fight with Tank. Would Tank have, done something crazy, like, just the way he would react to if this happened to him and his
You gotta ask Tank that question.
Yeah.
I will tell you how I would react. You gotta ask Tank. I can't speak for him.
How would you react?
How would I react to him testing?
If you're on the team of the opposite fighter.
Well, see, we wouldn't have never even been in this situation. He would have never came in overweight and fought. No, we would have handled that shit totally different.
That's
The contract, like,
Our shit is handled differently from how other people handle their shit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how would y'all have handled that 3 pounds over. You know what I mean?
Again, put it this way: we wouldn't have been in that situation. We wouldn't have been in that situation.
Leonard, before
all the bases would have been covered. There wouldn't have been no loophole, no handshake none of that. Our shit is always buttoned up. This is the reason why. Why do you think y'all never know when we getting ready to do something? We make sure all our shit is buttoned up. Then we make an announcement. Nothing prematurely, jumping out there. You see some promoters jump out there. Oh, we're working on this. No, we don't do that shit. We make sure our shit is all the way buttoned up before we release it to the public.
Leonard, before getting back to the fight and everything surrounding the fight, do you care to comment at all on all the rumors about Floyd in Dubai and he can't leave Dubai and everything that's going around on the internet?
Floyd is in terrific shape. He runs every day. But like when you look at any other 46, 47-year-old, it's like he looks totally different.
So about what happened yesterday with Oscar and Canelo, I got a feeling I know how you feel about it, but how did you feel about it? What happened with Oscar and Canelo?
How do I feel about it?
Your thoughts, yes.
Well, obviously Oscar had it planned. He had his notes out there. He's been talking about he's going to shake things up during fight week. But Canelo knows him very well. And I guess Oscar doesn't really care about being publicly embarrassed. But, he opened Pandora's box, that's for sure.
Did he make it worse for his fighter?
Oh, he was going to get his ass whooped anyway.
But did he make it worse?
Probably so. He was going to get his ass whooped and he was going to get knocked out anyway. But I guess it will just be even better when Munguia is laid out on the canvas.
So that's how you believe it's going to play out. I was going to ask you who you think.
No doubt in my mind Canelo's knocking him out. No doubt in my mind. Just as sure we sit here doing this interview, that's happening.
Now let me ask you this. This year we've seen some crazy things in boxing, right? Is there a potential for upset here, in your opinion?
Anything can happen when you get in the boxing ring and guys are trading punches. Anything can happen. That's just how boxing works. But at the end of the day, Munguia, he's a very young, strong fighter, very aggressive. He's getting better and better each fight. He has a terrific trainer in Freddie Roach. But fighting Canelo is a whole different level. He ain't never seen no shit like that. Canelo gonna see that shit, that wide shit, slow shit coming a mile away.
What about the improvements with Freddie Roach?
I definitely noticed. I've watched probably his last 5 or 6 fights personally, doing the build up to this camp just to really kind of watch his style. And he has gotten better. They worked on tweaks some things. But man, this guy, the knowledge that Canelo has,
he's seen it all.
Is miles, yes, it's miles and miles and miles above. And it's like when you go to do something, Canelo already is in a reaction mode to know what he's going to do because everything is ABC 1, 2, 3. Everything ABC 1, 2, 3. Canelo's seen everything. He's been in there with slick black fighters. He's been in there with guys who come straight forward. He's been in there with runners. He's seen every style there is. Russians. He's seen every style there is. But this guy right here, he's tailor-made for the work. Tailor-made for the work. Big, strong guy, coming with everything, and he's gonna be trying really hard for all the fans who will be in attendance and all the fans around the world who will be watching. But it's gonna be a terrible result.
I saw you spoke to him after everything that went down at the presser yesterday. Could you share with us some of what you talked about with Canelo? What you told him after all that?
No, we're really cool. We're really cool and have a good, cool relationship. Again, and we on the same page. We're on the same page. You know, we both don't like that motherfucker. You know, we have that definitely in common, and amongst other things. I think he's a great fighter, a icon in boxing, and you know he's, in my opinion, probably the greatest Mexican fighter ever. But we definitely have one thing in common: we don't like that motherfucking Oscar De La Hoya.
You've never been shy about that. Does Oscar have his side of the story, even though you don't? No,
I don't care. I don't really care. Yeah. I don't really care what he thinks.
Yeah.
It's just like Isn't it kind of ironic that even guys like Dana White, for an example, when he speaks of Oscar De La Hoya, what does he say?
He uses a lot of the same words you do.
Funny how that works. Eddie Hearn, what does he have to say about him?
It's a little more gentlemanly. He says in a more polite
way.
My
God, that's my guy. How you doing, my friend? Everything's good.
Morning, right?
Most definitely, of course. Be front and center. Without a doubt.
He echoes the same sentiments with his own British way of saying it.
Yeah.
He says it like in a James Bond way.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the common thought amongst the promoters in boxing. Everybody know what it is. Everybody know what it is. He was a great fighter. Great fighter. I always got to give him his respect about what he did in that ring. He did his thing. Very good.
How would him and Canelo have went? You know, at 54, because Oscar's too small for 60, 68.
Again, like I told somebody, I don't do the mythical matchups.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really not a fan of that at all because that shit is like fake. It's not real. It's like, oh, well, Floyd and this guy, Floyd and that guy. It's like people have an opinion about everything. You know, so, and it's not reality. Yeah. Not reality.
When it comes to fighters like Floyd or like now Canelo, these guys with these super high IQs, how do their opponents find a sparring partner or train for people that you know what I'm saying with those type of IQs? Like who can Munguia bring in that can give them what Canelo is going to do?
When it comes to the sparring stuff, it's like it's impossible to actually mimic the opponent. So you get guys. And I've always been responsible for bringing in all the work for Floyd, for the multiple camps. And, you know, we've had people who bring different things. You know, this guy we put on the end because he's going to bring out this, that. So it's a method to that. And it takes someone very, very knowledgeable to organize stuff like that. Because you don't want to use the same guy over and over. You want to be able to have guys who bring out the best in you. You know, just an example, you know, at one point in Floyd's career, Earl Spence was a sparring partner. was one of 5. One of 5. You know? It just goes to show you that the level that you're operating at, the preparation is always the key to getting ready for big fights. The preparation, hey young lady, how you doing? Is always the key, you know. That's where the fights are really won. The preparation.
And Leonard, I don't know, did you get a chance to see Canelo on First Take on ESPN in the morning?
I caught the tail end of it.
Well, he said, if the money's right, you know, I was with David Benavidez Saturday night along with Munguia. What do you think of his comments?
I've been telling you guys that all along. Canelo Alvarez is not scared of David Benavidez. He's not. He's a fucking fighter. He's been in there with everybody. David's my guy. I mean, I like David a lot. I know him very, very well. I've got a chance to kind of game plan for him. He's impossible to deal with. Mm-hmm. That's why that's a great fight. That's a great fight. I hope to see it just like you guys. Canelo's not. It comes down to this. Comes down to he like, this is what y'all want. Y'all gotta pay me.
Right.
I ain't mad at him. He should get paid. Him and Benavidez. I hope they do make the fight. I'd be so happy for my guy Samson. You know, he deserves an opportunity to be on a big stage like that. You know, he's worked so hard. So, again, I hope it does. I like both guys. I like both guys. And I do have an opinion on who will win the fight, but I'm not going to tell y'all.
Let's get it signed first, right? What about when it's signed, Leonard? You maybe give it fight week when we get to fight week?
Yeah, but it's a better fight than what y'all think. And it's not probably what y'all think.
What do you
Let
think?
me ask you
What
this.
do you think we think?
Yeah,
What do you think's the perception?
I think that it's one perception is that, without using names, but it's a different kind of fight. It's a different kind of fight. Both guys are really, really good, though.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, we just talked about Canelo's IQ and how he's seen everything, right? Pretty much seen everything. Does David Benavidez possess any skill sets or problems that Canelo may not have seen?
Well, Benavidez is a problem within itself. He's a problem within itself. You know, he's skillful. He's fast. He does a lot of things really, 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 really well. So it'd be great to see those two styles mesh in a ring.
You think because the champions that Benavidez has fought, they've been trying to outbox him more on the back foot. Do you feel like David would love a guy, even as great as Canelo, finally trying to step to him, as opposed to him being the one always trying
Believe
to...
it or not, that fight is won in the center of the ring. Trust me.
Well, Canelo, David gets his best work done on the ropes, so that sounds like it might favor Canelo a little bit.
All I'm just saying is that when the fight gets made, I'll give you my opinion. I'll give you my opinion on it. Both guys are phenomenal fighters.
Is it the best fight to be made in boxing?
More than.
Outside of Tank? Yes.
Do you think we'll ever see any fights in Raider Stadium?
Thanks, Leonard.
Possibly. But it's not always about this. You know what I mean? It's like they've done 90s, how many thousand in Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones, they done with
but it's all about ticket scaling and all of that kind of stuff.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.